President said today that he hopes that the Durham report and that you as Attorney General won't be politically correct. I hope that too. Mr. Attorney General, I spent 3 years unpeeling the layers of an onion in terms of premeditated fraud on a FISA court. You have deleted subpoenaed emails. You have knowledge. We know that they were warned in August of 2016 not to trust that dossier, which was the bulk of information for the FISA warrants. The subsource in January of 2017 confirms none of that was true, and it was Barr talk. I guess justice, the wheels of justice turn slowly. I feel impatience over it. Can you give us any update?
Yes, Sean. Well, first, as to the political correctness, if I was worried about being politically correct, I wouldn't have joined this administration.
That's actually a good line, too. Okay.
Yeah, well, as I made clear, I'm going to call them as I see them, and that's why I came in. I think I'm in a position to do that. There are two different things going on, Sean. One, I've said that the American people need to know what actually happened. We need to get the story of what happened in 2016 and 17 now out. That will be done. The second aspect of this is if people cross the line, if people involved in that activity violated the criminal law, they will be charged. And John Durham is an independent man, highly experienced, and his investigation is pursuing apace. There was some delay because of COVID, but I'm satisfied with the progress. And I've said there are going to be developments, significant developments before the election, but we're not doing this on the election schedule. We're aware of the election. We're not going to do anything inappropriate before the election, but we're not being dictated to by this schedule. What's dictating the timing of this are developments in the case. And there will be developments. Tomorrow there will be a development in the case. It's not an earth-shattering development, but it is an indication that things are moving along at the proper pace as dictated by the facts in this investigation.
This isn't about a report. This is a criminal investigation. You were very clear that they spied. The President of the United States was spied on deep into his presidency, you said. Now, based on what we know, and Andrew McCabe said it, and Sally Yates said it, and Rod Rosenstein and Sally Yates would not sign those warrants today. We know that the FBI knew beyond any doubt that it not only was that dossier, without the dossier, Yates and McCabe both say there's no FISA warrant, that they knew it was false. They were told it was false. The law even requires them, as soon as they know that it was false, to go back to the FISA court. Based on what we know on the record, I just see premeditated fraud against the court, and I wouldn't even lie before Judge Judy, Mr. Attorney General, because I think they'd throw away the key in my case.
Well, when we feel we can prove a crime beyond a reasonable doubt, it will be charged. I can tell you that.
Lend itself to great opportunity for fraud?
Yes, I think it is grossly irresponsible to be doing what the Democratic Party is doing now. We've had very close races in recent history. The country is divided. If anything, we should be assuring the integrity of our elections so that government going forward will be legitimate and will be accepted as legitimate. The idea of conducting elections by wholesale mail-in ballots is reckless and wrong. Everyone knows what has happened in these cases. We're not talking about voters going, requesting a ballot specifically, saying who they are, proving who they are, and then submitting a ballot by mail. We're talking about mail-outs to everyone on the voting list, and every experience with that has had thousands and thousands of ballots floating around, not just the state but the country. I have friends who haven't lived in California in 21 years who receive ballots. There are ballots left in boxes in apartment buildings. Ballots are for people who used to live at addresses or delivered to those addresses. They can be filled out by anybody. This is reckless, and it could create serious questions about the integrity of the election. And to do this when there are a closely divided country as we are, is playing with fire, in my view.
People have been trying to impeach Donald Trump from day one. We've now seen the criminalization of political differences. For example, the IG made referrals about lying, about top officials in the FBI, and nothing happens. There was no pre-dawn raids with 29 guys in tactical gear and frogmen over those process crimes, nor were there CNN cameras because those guys haven't been arrested. I worry that America is descending into a two-tier justice system. Am I wrong?
No, I think it's the right worry, and it's the reason I came back into government. We can't let it happen. But here's the thing, Sean. The way out of this, the way out of the politicization and the corruption of the justice system, where it's used as a political weapon by one party against another, is not to deliver tit for tat. It's not to use the tactics of the other side. It's to uphold the rule of law, use the right standard, and that's what I'm trying to do. One standard for everybody.
I know you can't share a lot. I spent 3.5 years. I think we found a lot of truth about the 1%. I always make the distinction, not the 99% of good, premier law enforcement intelligence agencies in the world. And I hope those that abuse power, more corrupt, are exposed. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, Sean.